Hi. In this series of videos, we're going to cover Java, and this is going to be taken from the textbook I use for my class, which is starting out with Java, the 8th edition. Author is Tony Gaddis, the publisher is Pearson. So we're going to get started here. We're going to do the in the spotlights from these chapters to kind of give you an idea of writing code. So here's the problem that we're going to work with. Determining percentages is a common calculation in computer programming. Although the percent symbol is used in general mathematics to indicate a percentage, most programming languages, including Java, do not use the percent symbol for this purpose. In a program, you have to convert a percentage to a floating point number, just as you would if you were using a calculator. For example, 50% would be written as 0.5 and 2% would be written as 0.02. So we're going to look at an example. Suppose you earn $6,000 per month and you are allowed to contribute a portion of your gross monthly pay to a retirement plan. You want to determine the amount of your pay that will go into the plan if you contribute 5%, 8%, and 10% of your gross wages. So to make this determination, we're going to write a program, and they have the code shown in the book, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, when I work with Java, one of the things you have to realize is that it's going to want a place to put these programs. So what I do is I create a folder. In this case, in my class, I got in the Spotlight programs, and I got chapter 2, and in there I got percentages. That's the name of the folder I'm going to use for this. Okay, so we can go ahead and get and what we use in this class is Visual Studio Code, right here, VS Code. Makes it real easy to use on here. So I'm going to kind of go through with you how this works on here. So get rid of this thing here. So you can either go from the this is the easiest way to do it in my opinion. We're going to be creating a new file, but first we need to open the folder where we're going to store it. So I'm going to click on that and then navigate to where my folder is. Got it on my external hard drive. Java class, in the Spotlight programs, chapter 2, and then the percentages. Okay, that's where I'm going to store this. Okay, let me get this here out of my way. Okay. So do you want to, well, this is because it's an external drive. I'm going to say yes. Click on that. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a new file. Now, when we do this, the file name of the class has to be the same, or the name of the class, I'm sorry, has to be the same as the name of the file. So I'm going to call this contribution.java. It has to have the .java on there. Okay. Enter key. Then it's going to go to the location where we set it up, which is right there, and create the file. Okay, let me get this up here. There we go. So here's the file. Okay. I would suggest not using the open chat. You don't want this to write the program for you. You need to be able to do that yourself on here. So we're going to do that. So first thing we need to do is put our class in. Like I said, it needs to match up with the name of the file where it's being stored. Okay. And then curly braces. Now, we're going to have a couple of variables in here. First one's going to be monthly pay, and that's going to be equal to 6,000. Okay, that's a double. And then we're also going to have our contribution, which is going to be a double. Okay, so now we're going to do 3 calculations and 3 outputs for this. One for the 5%, then the 8%, and then the 10%. Oh, semicolon up there. And that should be an equals, not a dash. I hit the wrong key on there. There we go. Okay, so contribution equal to monthly pay times 0.05. Okay. Then we'll do our print statement, which is system.out.println. So for print line, and we're going to print 5% space is $. Okay, so that's the end of the quote there. Whoops, go over one here. Plus contribution plus, and then quote, space, per month. Okay. Now, I'm going to go down here. The next two are going to be the same thing except for the amounts. So an easy way to do this would be to copy this. And I'm going to paste it down here. I'm going to tab that over. Didn't go in the right place there. There we go. And I'm going to paste it in again. Okay, and so now all I need to do is change this to an 8. And this here to an 8. And this to 1, 0, and this to 10. Okay, that's the whole code. And I need to see why that's underlined. Oh, okay. I left the line out. Sorry. Got ahead of myself a little bit. Every Java program has to have a main method. So we're going to do a public static void main. And then inside the parentheses is going to be string bracket m bracket args. Okay. And we're going to do a curly brace there. And I'm going to do a curly brace down here. Now the thing with that is, delete this one off of here, there we go. One of the things that Java does not do, I'm going to see if this will work here. Yeah, is Java does not automatically reformat. Some IDEs do, integrated development environment. Visual C# would automatically reformat it. This one does not in the Visual Code here. So I did that so get everything indented there. But every Java program has to have a main. Now later on you'll learn how to make classes, and then the classes won't have main, it'll be the program that runs it. But anyway, there you go. So let's see how this works. So I'm going to go up here and do a run, start debugging. Cancel that out of there. They're putting all this weird stuff in here. Okay, there we go. So 5% is $300 per month, 8% is $480 per month, and 10% is $600 per month. So we got the values all there. Everything worked great on there. So hope this helps you out on getting started with your programs. We'll continue on with Chapter 3 in the next video. Bye.